Hey y'all, it's Dr. Shamanda. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things mental health, personal finance, and overall strategies to live your best life. All right, y'all, it has been a while since I've done a video about personal finance, but I want to get back on track. And today I'm coming to you with another basic finance video. So today we are talking about lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation. I don't think there's a better time to talk about this than right now, as we in the United States and everywhere, honestly, is going through what might be called a recession. No one's using that word officially yet, but essentially with inflation and tariffs and all these things going on, people are struggling financially for the most part, or at least just trying to manage their finances and where they are. But there are some of us who are, there are some people who are getting raises and changing jobs and having increased income. So what can happen during that period of time is something called lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation. Now, one definition of lifestyle creep is basically when your income rises or increases, your lifestyle expands or increases. So a couple of examples of that you've probably seen over the years is when somebody gets a raise at a job, they go out and buy a new car, or they upgrade their house, or they go and on trips more often, or go to the buy more bags, or whatever they like. They just go shopping more because they have more income, essentially. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Or could it be? It depends on the situation, right? So one thing you want to do is, a couple things to avoid, I would say, lifestyle creep, is to have a budget and have some goals. And so one thing that you can do is automate your savings and investments, so that regardless of, let's say, okay, you're going to pay your fixed expenses every month, your housing, your car, your gas, food, electricity, all those basic things. You want to automate your savings and your investment so that anything extra, because at this point, technically you have more, right? You have more income, but anything that's extra, you can spend on those extra things that you want to do, but you're still taking care of your household expenses, and your savings and your investments are still being covered. So it's not that you're now avoiding or putting off those savings and investments and spending all of this extra money now. So automate your savings and investments. Also, track your spending. So we already know, and if you haven't already, check out the video I did on budgeting, and I have a new video about budgeting coming up as well. There's another style of budgeting that you can use, or a method, but I'll talk about that in another video. But you want to track your spending. So of course, this goes back to the number one rule, is to have a budget. You need to know what's coming in, what's going out. Of course, at this point, your income has increased, so you know that you've increased your income, but how much? And what does that leave for you to spend? How much of that can you spend? Can you increase your savings? Can you increase your investment amount or contributions? Can you increase your giving contribution? Whatever, right? That looks different for everyone. However, you need to know that, this is what I have coming in, and this is what I have going out, and this is what I want to spend on, like, more luxury things at this point, right? Delayed gratification. Now, I did another video on delayed gratification, which is such an important piece of managing your finances, personal finances, because what happens specifically within lifestyle creep is, you've probably been waiting already. You've probably been working really hard to get to this point in your financial life or situation where you can actually go out and spend. You can travel more. You can give more. So it's not a bad thing. However, if you have some financial goals, or you have a budget that you already set, it's okay to still maintain a certain level of delayed gratification, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're still on track to hit your financial goals. You don't want the fact that, like, hey, I have all of this extra money now, to now kind of force you into a space where, if you're not careful, you'll be right back to where you were before. What does that look like though, right? So for example, let's say you go upgrade your car. Now your car, maybe you had a car that was paid for, you didn't have a car payment, and now you have this $800 car payment. And I'm not just pulling that number out. Literally, the average car monthly amount now is between $500 to $800, literally right now. And so let's say you went from not having anything on that budget item line for your car or a car loan or whatever. Now you have $800 in that slot. Let's say now also you just purchased your first home, or now you upgraded your home, and so maybe you're renting at like $1,800 a month, and now you have a mortgage or a new house that's costing you $3,500 a month. So now you have that significant increase. So guess what? Yes, you are making more money, but you also now paying out just as much as you just received in the increase. So that's lifestyle creep. That's lifestyle inflation. So you have to be very careful and mindful of that. So how does delayed gratification come into effect there? Well, essentially, if maybe it's about putting one of those things on hold. Like maybe you could save up to purchase that car in full instead of having an $800 car loan every month, right? Or let's say you want to maybe save up to have a bigger down payment on your home so that your payment amount isn't as high. So now you still have more of a cushion in terms of your new increase in your income. So those just a couple of things, and I just wanted to define what lifestyle creep and lifestyle inflation would look like, and just a couple ways that you could avoid it or prevent it. So I hope that helps. Leave me a like, a comment, and also subscribe to this channel for more, and I will see you all next time.